on how you can create nice renderings prompts in Midjourney. So I'm using Midjourney 2, and I was trying to do several trucks renders. So how you can obtain something like this is the question, yeah? So you can do structural prompts or constructive prompts, or you can just use the natural language and pretty much just say what you have in your mind. Uh, all of those works, but you probably need to know some tricks. So the first one, if you use, let's say, let's start with the easy one. If you use the natural language one, so basically you have in mind the truck and say, hey, I want to render, your prompt is going to be something like render 4x4 trucks in the whatever environment is over there with these characteristics, and you specify some characteristics like the color, shape, mood. Now if you want to have a specific truck, if you want to have a Jeep or GMC or whatever, you can put that as well. But basically, just first trial is do as you think the truck it's in your mind should be also in the prompt. Now, sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't work. So the other way is to do, as I call it, a structural prompt. And in the structural prompt, you need to define three things. You define the subject, you define the environment, and you define the mood, basically how the image should look like, or the style, if you want to call it. So that will be the structural one. So in this case, let's pick one image here. There's one on the left. I want to have a truck, 4x4, futuristic, so that will be the subject. Second will be in a canyon, Rocky Mountains, whatever. And the third one will be the style or the mood. So I can say painting, or I can say watercolor, and I can say impressionism, or stuff like that. And you can define also the atmosphere. Sometimes you can say midday, or you can say sunset, night, whatever. So that will be the three parts which you can define. Of course, you can change at the end. You can change the version, you can change the quality of the image, you can change the style, you can change the aspect ratio. Ton of those arguments, you can do it at the end. But in principle, you cover the whole spectrum, the subject, the background, and how the image should look like. So that will be the structural prompt. The other thing which you can do a constructive prompt or construction prompt if you want. This is similar to the structural one, but it's a little bit more tricky in the sense that you start with a simple prompt. So you're gonna say render a car. That's the first thing, and after that you start adding things to it. Render a 4x4 car or 4x4 truck, and after that you're gonna say inside of a showroom, outside in wild environment, outside into the canyon, outside into the jungle. So basically you kind of touch on the background, and after that you add whatever style you want, so you can say painting or watercolor, and the other thing you can specify even a type of painting in an impressionist style. Now, those renders here, they are actually follow the classic renders for the cars in 50s and 60s, where they use a lot of gouache and tempera. So if you add that, you're gonna have this kind of results, because they know, from the database that if you put the period 1950s, 1960s, the renderings, they were kind of like this, and they were mostly for the cars actually. And now if you want to be able to be more detailed and if you want to be exact. Of course, you can say photographic render, so that will pop up in your renders. And if you want to have a blur background, you can use photographic terms like bokeh, or you can say focus on, and you can specify focus on what? On the tire, on the front of the car. The other thing, like this one here with the lights on the right, you can specify the lights. So being a vehicle, the vehicle can have the lights on or off. So you can say with lights on in the sunset, and that also gives you good results. So if you do those things, make sure you touch the three parts: the subject, the background, and the style. And I guess you're gonna have some nice results. So I hope that helps. I hope you